Howdy.
Hey, what's
Today
happening?
yeah. I'll
What's
say
up, Tubby?
something. Yo. We got our first guest on the pod, Kyle Yankowski. He is a chef. He also participates in Comedy Writers Guild. And yeah, the internet is a cool place because you can meet people that are like, sometimes you meet child molesters, but other times you meet really cool people that have like really interesting life experiences. And he's from the second group. So welcome Kyle Yankowski to the pod,
Yeah,
please.
welcome to Two Live Jews.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on.
So let's get straight to it. I mentioned the chef thing. How long have you been cooking for?
I've probably been cooking for, gosh, coming up on 19 years soon.
Wow, and how old are you?
I am 34.
Wow, so like more than half your life.
Yeah, be
That's
35 pretty soon
impressive.
here.
That's really impressive. Um, so have you seen the TV show The Bear?
I have seen it in the past, yes. Not like a full-on binge status, but I've seen some episodes, yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering, because my girlfriend Liz, she works at Olive Garden. She's a hostess, and she's also been watching The Bear when we've been hanging out. And she says that it portrays restaurant life with like a surprising amount of accuracy. And I wondered if that lined up with your experiences.
Um, for the most part, yeah. It's a lot of high chaotic energy. A lot of aggressive energy.
Yeah.
High
But,
stress.
high stress. I feel like it's a good practice, though, because it's like if you can master the art of remaining calm in the shit, like you're kind of getting somewhere, you know?
That's a high value skill, thriving on chaos. Yeah. The
Yeah.
the main character, I mean, that's basically the one thing he's really good at. The bear guy. I mean, he just figures out how to keep everything going, even though it's crazy every episode. That's probably a lot of being a chef, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. It gets busy when it's busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't call
Um,
myself a chef by any means, but I did have a stint where I cooked at an IHOP, and it was an IHOP that just opened up in a college town. And the pressure in the kitchen when you have a lot of stuff coming in, it is high pressure. And I watched a lot of people lose their shit, just quit immediately, quit after the pressure builds mid shift, and it is a lot to be said for being able to keep your cool, because those
yeah.
orders start coming in, and then when people start sending stuff back, I mean, you can't lose it. You got to keep your head about you.
In some
Oh,
ways, it's
yeah.
sort of like being a comedian, right? I mean, a lot of the same chaotic elements are at play, right? Where you're in entertainment, you're trying to keep a venue booked, but like the shit
Oh,
always
yeah.
hits the fan.
Well, and also anything can become a makeshift dig if you have a good imagination.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
there were characters too. There's a lot of characters in restaurants where that dynamic. I think they exist everywhere that you work, but there was something particular about working at the IHOP where I met a lot of people. It seemed like everybody was on drugs of some sort or another.
Oh, yeah.
Like that just was a thing. A lot of the people that I worked with, I'd go out and party with afterwards, and it was a good hookup for a lot of cocaine for a while in my
That
earlier
is an
days.
interesting, like, dark side to, I guess, the restaurant business. I think The Bear sort of explores that too. There's really a lot of drug use, I guess, in the restaurant industry.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I can attest to that. I used to be in the club, but
Wow.
fortunately, I've been sober for what, over 2 years now? Next month makes 2 years. Yeah.
That's really
Congratulations.
impressive. Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's funny too, because it's like you don't really know how bad it is until you like get out of it. And then it's just like, fuck, what was I doing?
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you do kind of ease into it. It becomes a lifestyle, and you don't really think about it. And then when you're cut off, and you start thinking back on some of the situations that you've been in, it's sort of that's when it hits you how crazy it can be. You know, like there's a lot. I was at a lot of parties. Usually, when I worked at IHOP, we'd all get off at the same time. We'd go to one dude's house, and it was just people and people over, and all sorts of shit would happen. Like one night, a couple of dudes rolled up and beat the shit out of a kid with a baseball bat. You know, I broke a glass bottle trying to get to the crystals in the bottom of Aftershock and cut my hand like unbelievably bad. You know, and like when you're in it, it's just another night. But yeah, when you step away, you realize like, wow, there's a lot of crazy shit that I got involved into, you know?
Oh, no kidding, and not to mention all the freaking drunk driving and just, there's a lot of that going on, like, consistently. And looking back, freaking one of the first kitchen jobs I ever had, that was when I got into my good old blow stint, And of course, I worked in a pizza
You got to stay
station.
awake somehow, right?
Oh, yeah, dude, I was killing it. But, like, dude, that's the thing about being in a pizza station and you got a bin of flour right next to you is it looks like flour.
Cooking and
This
cocaine.
guy's super into pizza, you guys. Look at him just freebasing the flour.
Just love it. Just dipping flour. Wait, that's not okay. That's
Just gumming flowers.
like, this is actually flour. Whoops.
Yeah, it's wild. So you're currently not. How is it now that like you're sober doing the same job? Like, is it weird, or is it like way better and you're able to handle things? You know.
Well, I mean, I'm so much more focused when it comes to just being able to maintain tasks, because before you get a little messed up and you either come in hungover and then you just keep drinking throughout the day.
Yeah.
Because like my biggest battle was alcoholism, so like that was like every day, all day type of thing. So it just comes to a point of like when you go in, it's just part of the routine. First thing you do is just take a shot when you wake up, and then fucking just keep at it all day.
That's wild.
But
And
you get
your
into it.
goalpost for normal just keeps shifting, right? And it's all relative. And eventually, at what point do you realize like this is bottom? Like it took
Yeah.
how many years in the restaurant industry were you before you sobered up? Did it take you?
Well, considering I've had a couple stints with being sober. Like there was once back in my early 20s where I was sober for like about minute and exercising and doing good. And then I just fell off the wagon and fucking just
Yeah.
hit everything pretty
How
hard.
good does it feel to fall off the wagon though? I haven't had alcohol in 5 years, and like I have dreams about like it would be so nice. Dude, I had a dream the other night where I just like consciously drank somebody's beer. Like it was in a red Solo cup. I was like, oh, this is probably water, and like I knew in the dream that it was beer. And I just woke up being like, that was really nice. That was really good.
Yeah,
Well,
those.
when you get sober, another part of that is you get more creative. Your imagination starts to flow more frequently, and you just have better ideas all around because you're actually using your brain versus just falling in line, going with the motions.
True. Yeah, it's just numbing yourself, right? And then what happens when you run out? You just feel those feelings worse. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a
Well,
band-aid.
Yeah,
a
and
lot of
booze
those.
has to be. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, a lot of those issues stem from a place of lack. Because somewhere deep down, you always feel like you're missing something. You need something. But as
Not
soon as
enough. Yeah.
yeah, it's never going to be enough. But the thing is, even without that substance, you still don't need that lack. You're good. You have everything.
I love that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
especially now with fentanyl and everything, people got to be careful.
I think booze has to be tough, like one of the tougher ones, because of how socially acceptable and normal it is. You know, like think about most of the comedy we do, like it's in bars. You know, at least here it is, and there's always
And the comedy
alcohol
clubs
around.
are open bar too. If it's not
Yeah,
literally a bar, it's a comedy club with an open bar that they encourage you to drink at.
sometimes that they require you to drink 2 drink minimum, like, so
Yeah.
kudos to you for I mean, I think alcohol would be very, very hard to quit. Like, I'm not an alcoholic. I was a heroin addict, but like alcohol, I I don't know. I don't know that I'd be able to give it up. But then again, I am able to go through, like, I don't have to have a drink first thing in the morning. It's more of a weekend thing.
Right. Well, that's kind of like self-control. Everything is good in moderation. I mean, well, maybe not everything, but if you can
Yeah.
maintain that control standard off of it and keep it to like a minimum, like recreational style, like I don't really see a problem. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, when it's like I need to do this every day just to wind down from the day, it's like, do
Yeah.
you?
And should you have to, right? Like
Right.
the minute you say need, that's kind of where addiction starts. I think that's where I've always
Mhm.
noticed a problem is when I go, I need this. And then I'm always like, wow, you need to take a step back from that. Like if you have a need around a chemical, that's the pathway.
Right. I mean, you need water, you need food, you need a roof over your head. That's really all you need. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, our brains can, and it's interesting too, because I noticed that like, there are times where I want to go back to doing like hard drugs or drinking or whatever, and I'm just looking for an excuse most of the time. I think it falls mostly into either I'm in pain or I'm not good enough. Like I don't deserve to be, respected or to be like a good person, right? And I think that's probably 80% of when I fuck things up and go on a bender. Yeah, it's interesting.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I've
crazy.
been on a few benders myself.
Yeah,
Gosh, I
yeah.
still I still remember the day my friends back in high school were talking about. He was like, "Hey, let's go do a beer run," and I was just like, "Beer run? Oh, we're just going to the store, but we're underage." So I thought he was gonna
Yeah.
like, go have somebody buy us some beer at the store, and he goes inside and comes running out with 2 cases under his arm with the clerk chasing his tail
You
on
just stole it?
Literal
his
beer
back.
run.
You pay a hobo. Come on. Sorry,
He's all
unhoused person.
he's all getting in the car, and the clerk, I'm in the driver's seat, and the clerk's like trying to pull my door open. And I'm like, shit, I didn't leave the car on because I didn't think he was gonna steal his shit.
Oh my God.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
it's just
That's
not worth it
dumb.
at that point, right? Jesus.
I
Did you get the
know.
beer though?
So scary.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you
we
got
did.
away.
I
You
may
got the
have ran
beer.
over the clerk's foot, but
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
But we got that
Shout
beer.
out. Shout out to the clerk. We hope you're doing good. Hopefully you're not still the clerk there. Things
I'm
might have
very,
might have moved up.
I'm very sorry.
I would also like to take a minute to apologize to the crossing guard that I once beat up in Columbus for trying to give me a ticket. I know now you were just doing your job, and I feel bad.
Crossing
So if
guard.
you're out there, that's my bad. It's been probably 7 years, so I think I'm past the statute of limitations, but just on a human level, that's my bad, dog.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Did you get out of the ticket?
I
You got
did,
away?
but I punched him like 3 or 4 times and then just drove off. And you can't
And,
just beat up traffic guards. Like
and
I
he
was
didn't
blacked
get your
out, but
plate.
still, he didn't get my plates. It was
Nice.
just I was like 20. It was a bad time.
That was
Yeah.
before the days of flock. Like, you know about flock cameras?
Oh no, they would have got me on those, huh?
Yeah, flock. So recently, just sidetracking real quick. Recently, we lost my mom. My mom is older. She's got like early stages of dementia, I'd say. And we had a birthday dinner scheduled for me. She was supposed to meet us at like 7:30, and let's just say seven. She's always there like early. So when we got there and I didn't see her immediately, I was nervous. 7:30 becomes 8, becomes 8:30, becomes 9, becomes a call to the police. And I was like, all right, she's missing at this point. Like, I can't get a hold of her. She's not answering her phone. Um, and we called the cops, and they were able to. They said, "Well, we've got her on flock," and it was like, "All right, so my mother's okay." They said she's driving around Port Charlotte right now, and she has been for like the last 5 hours. 5 hours. We're gonna just guide her back up to Bradenton. So Flock has license plate readers, and they can basically travel wherever you're traveling. So once they have your license plate, they can identify like what intersections you were at in almost near real time. So they were able to find her, and she was able to get back home. But that's one of the technologies that's out there that's being used in a lot of these traffic cams.
Wow,
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, I didn't
Huh.
realize that I'd heard of it from my job, but I didn't realize that they were using it like here. I thought it was just in bigger cities, but apparently it's spreading all over the place. So yeah, if you're ever thinking about running the cops, there's like no way anymore. They've got your license plate, dude. They can track you in real time.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah,
Wow. The
Well,
death knell of the Cowboys. You can't play Red Dead 2
You're gonna-
anymore in real
yeah.
life.
Gonna have
Can't go
to.
roping people and feeding them to gators.
So yeah, it's pretty wild though. I mean, in that case,
That's
it was a
crazy.
good. That case, it was like, all right, this is a very good thing. I'm happy the technology exists. But when I was on the other side of the law, I really probably wouldn't have liked it that much.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
That's funny how people grow.
Yeah,
you don't want to deal with abuse of power though either, because like
there's that fine line.
Yeah. Between safe and being unconstitutional.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we've got like, dude, let's face it, in public now. I mean, there are cameras literally everywhere. So chances are, if you step outside your front door, you're being filmed by some sort of government agency within like at least a mile of your house, no matter where you live, unless
like
it's the
to
middle of the
think-
woods.
I like to think in that vein that you sort of have privacy at one end and safety at the other.
Mhm.
And you can't really have both. And you make a move in one direction, it sacrifices some on the other. You can't have safety and privacy. They contradict each other. And I think we've really picked safety over that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think in a lot of ways, it's weird how it's sort of skewed. Safety. See, I look at safety and I think, all right, you should have relative physical safety. Like you shouldn't have to worry about getting carjacked every time you go outside. Like there's that extreme, but then there's also like, if I'm going 6 miles over the speed limit, I don't want to start getting tickets everywhere I go. Like we're not there yet, but that's where they could take it. Like that's where it could certainly be taken if the government goes out of control.
easily. And I mean, every time you pull out your GPS, you got that little speed symbol on the bottom
Yup.
left corner. It's like, oh, I'm being tracked right now.
Yeah, and all the cars now track like they track your speed and they track whether you're doing the brakes or not. Like there's almost a black box in like most modern cars.
Come they gotta call it a black box, man. And why can't it be why come it can't be called a white box?
Box of color.
Yeah,
Box
Steve
of-
Harvey's new bit. They gotta call it a black box.
So Jake, we're gonna start calling it the box of color, huh?
Well,
The
the black
POC
box
box.
is already taken because that's what you have to do for applying in high cook position roles. It's called
Hell
a
yeah.
black box. It's just a
Really?
big black tub of random ingredients. You gotta make something out of all of it.
Really? That sounds
Yeah.
really scary. And then they judge like whatever soup mess you had to put together.
Pretty much. It's fun.
Shit. That sounds scary. Definitely
I love it.
chaotic. Hell yeah. So the other thing we were thinking about is gas prices are getting crazy. We're noticing an impact on comedy scenes and turnout. Do you think it's also affecting the restaurant industry?
I mean, it has to be. Like, if you think about how much gas goes into one of those freaking Charlie's produce trucks or the transportation trucks, like, those things take a lot of gas.
Right.
And
Yeah,
not to
and maybe
mention-
turnout, the customers, right? That's got to be affected a little bit too if it's that expensive to get out.
Oh yeah. Well, and there's this other part that I've heard about them putting some kind of chemical into our gas tanks or into the gas that supposedly erodes older cars.
Oh, is
In
it
order
the ethanol? That ethanol mixture?
Yeah, something to erode older cars in order to like force everybody to make that move into like a more updated vehicle or
That's
something like
terrible. It's like how iPhones will make their older models
Yup.
break on purpose so that you get the newer iPhone. It's like this is why we have global warming. If a machine still works, why are you trying to take it and make me buy a whole new one? Like,
Right.
Yeah, they
Not only is it profit, but apparently there's this thing that they could do with the newer models. It's called a kill switch, and they just hit a button or something, and everything just shuts off.
oh my God, that's frightening.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, because your car's like technology now. Like it's more computer than it is. It's more computer, like an electrical controlled than it is mechanically controlled. Like when you turn the steering wheel, it's telling a computer to actually turn that. It's not. I mean, it's not the way that they used to be, where everything's mechanics. It's like sort of electromechanics. So power steering, AV, all the brakes and stuff. Like it's pretty wild. And if you look at a Tesla, that thing's more a computer than a car. Like it's a computer system that you can drive basically.
Well, and like when it comes to motorcycles, like what's next? Modified pocket rocket with a built-in pocket pussy
Start controlling
in
how.
the pocket.
Yeah, there'd be a.
Like just a guy beating off as he goes like 100 miles an hour.
I mean, they're already in the position on the seat. All they got to do is
Oh
lift
my
up a
God.
little bit.
There'll be a black box on that to show you how frequent you're using it, and then know how to advertise to you and when.
Make something out of these ingredients in my sidecar. You got a
Oh,
pair of scissors, some plywood, and some duct tape.
and handcuffs.
And a carrot.
Carrot
That's
and
good.
the stick. Yeah, dude. I think energy prices have like an effect on everything. What's gas by you, Kyle? Like, how much is it a gallon, average?
Jeez, it's probably around $6.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 4 here, and we're bitching at 4. 6, I'd be really bitching.
I don't know
Oh
what
yeah.
I would do at 6. I'd quit comedy for sure. It just wouldn't be justifiable.
Be
Well, it's
doing a lot more
crazy.
carpooling.
Yeah. Yeah. Paid shows only, no mics. Like I'd stop networking. There wouldn't be like I wouldn't, if somebody had a show that I wasn't on, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'll go and support it. Like I try to do. It just, $6 of gas is crazy.
Dude, I remember back in the day when you could freaking throw $20 in the tank, and that's like over half a tank.
I remember when 11 was a full tank. Like I'm older than you guys. Like I graduated in 99, and when I graduated, gas was 99 cents a gallon. 99.98 cents, and like I could fill my car for $11. And
So cool.
it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Like I just don't understand how everything's gone up exponentially. Cigarettes too. Cigarettes were like $2 a pack, and now
They're like
they're
10
like
bucks now.
10. Yeah, it's wild.
Remember when Subway sandwiches, you could get a foot long sandwich for $5?
$5 foot longs.
Like
Yeah.
it boggles my mind that I was alive in that time, and now it's like $13 for that same sandwich.
Yeah.
It's because of Jared. He ruined it all.
Had to go touching them kids, man.
Had to mess up everything. Would have got away with it too if it weren't for you meddlesome kids.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We paid him a lot less, but
Well,
he got a tip out of it.
Yeah, they never did recover from Jared completely. Like, yeah, they've got no new mascot, right? Subway hasn't had a new guy since Jared.
that just did it. That was it. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be next in line for that job.
How do you follow that?
They'd have to get one of these teachers. Yeah, we've got a female teacher epidemic lately down here. There's like been a couple right by me, like in Port Charlotte and Northport. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like every other day there's like another teacher that you just go, holy
And they
crap.
won't let Casey reattend school at any of these places.
Absolutely not.
Despite his many requests.
I went to a school that had a molesty teacher that they got him years later.
It was a he.
Yeah,
That's sad. I think
Paul
if it's
Gear.
a hot woman that's just making like, like a 16, like that's okay, I think. But if it's like a guy that's Yeah, your
When he
Well,
mom's.
you
was,
see, where's the line though? Because it's
I
like
don't know.
man
gotta
Now
or
that I
have-
say it
woman.
out loud,
if
it doesn't hold
if
up.
there's got to be equality. Like feminists
There
fought
has to
too
be
hard for
equality under the
equality
law.
that they got to get it. You
Right,
know?
It's true. It's true.
But it's also like, were they willing? Like, because there's
Can't
that
they?
saying you can't molest the willing, or
It's true. People be saying that.
Yeah, but as you know, like I just look at it like, there's got to be there's if you're gonna be a child molester, right? Like there was that one chick that molested that kid, and I think he got her pregnant, and like while he was in school, and then
Which,
later,
like, that's a cool kid, by the way. Like, can
later-
you imagine how popular that kid was for the whole year?
she wasn't a hot teacher, Jake.
She wasn't. Oh, he got
No.
bullied the whole year.
No, like,
Oh,
and he
no.
was all on like, I want to marry her, and I think they did,
Oh,
and then
that's
she
funny.
ended up like suing him for child support. It's like, wait, so
Wow.
this child was a product of pedophilia, and you went to jail for it. Now he's paying you, like, huh? Well, like,
It's like that Kanye West song, 18 Years or Gold Digger or whatever.
Yeah. She was just waiting for him to earn so she could take him. She saw the potential in him. That's why she chose him.
That's wild.
It's just
That's
it's
so
weird.
crazy.
Yeah, the dude at my school was like an equal opportunity pedophile. Like, and what's messed up is the school knew that he was doing it, and what they
Wow.
did was they moved the boys from underneath of his house because the dorm was in the basement. They just switched it with girls, and it's like, he started molesting them. So there was like a big trial for it in New York State. It was a federal case. Dude's name is Paul Gear. Yeah, it's like
Wow.
the school knew, and that was their solution. Like, oh well, he's molesting the boys. We'll just put girls. Like,
That's such
Yeah.
a wild
Right?
overcorrection that's not even helpful.
Like,
Oh,
your
let's
first
just
thought
mess up in a
isn't
different way.
your
Yeah.
first thought's not like, hey, let's call the authorities about this.
No,
No,
he was the
let's
head
switch
of
out the genders.
he was the head of chorus. So like he was actually what brought in a lot of kids because it was like a reform school. So we were bad kids. So nobody really like believed anything. You couldn't tell on him while you were there because that would be slander. And I think how it all came about is like afterwards the stories started coming, and what made it a federal case is that he did some of that molestation in Canada. So it was like crossing international lines, and that was how it all went down. But yeah, they had a deposition of one guy where they were talking to him, and they said, well, after the school found out, they called the authorities. And he said, well, no, the authorities were never called. And they said, well, after he was let go, and he's like, no, he wasn't let go. Like, yo,
What?
like that's crazy.
And that's
we
the
knew
motivation too. Because you got your kid acting up, you say, hey,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
get-
take you out of school and I'm gonna go send you to that one.
Yeah,
if you
you're
don't
gonna get the-
behave.
You're gonna get the Paul Gear treatment. Yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely wild.
That's like pretty fun. It's sort of like when you do when you're caught smoking and you're like, well, you're gonna smoke the whole carton of cigarettes. Like having a bunch of boys and then you move it to girls and just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, I'll
it's
show
very
them.
much the like, well, smoke the whole carton. It's like I don't know
No.
how that's better.
I
Yeah,
don't think
'cause-
it works like that because they're not suffering at that point.
Yeah, he finally got his day. Yeah, I the cigarette thing. I had a friend whose parents made him do that. And yeah, it didn't work at all. Like he just got more addicted to smoking. Yeah.
Jeez.
Right?
Uh,
I mean,
That's
ultimately, you
crazy.
just gotta. I mean, when it comes to that, yeah, absolutely, speak up on it and like be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? But when it
yeah.
comes to like cigarettes and drinking and stuff like that, it's just kind of like, bro, let them just fuck around and find out. They'll do it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We all
Yeah,
did
you can't apply the carton of cigarettes logic to everything.
it.
It really doesn't work. Like
Just let him at it until he learns his lesson. We'll throw him.
He's got to learn somehow.
You speak up to the class. It's like, all right, Greer got this kid over here. So to teach him a lesson, the rest of you gotta get in line.
Yeah, he was one of those guys you knew too. Like we always knew there was something there. Like he was one of those people you could tell. Like you could feel the energy in the room shift when he walked in. And because you couldn't, like as a child there, you couldn't speak out against staff. Like you could try, but they'd immediately say you were lying, and there was no way you could prove anything. So like it just just went on, which is crazy. Yeah, that's a perfect place for pedophiles, a reform school, because nobody believes the kids, and he was very safe in there. Like the fact that it came out and he kept his job it just shows you that people are crazy and you can't trust institutions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, look at all the Epstein victims coming and speaking out, and there's
Nothing.
like barely nothing. Like, what? Come on.
No one's getting punished for this stuff.
No,
It's crazy.
no one ever. It's like it's almost like bringing it to light's just like being gaslit, because it's like, okay, they've got it, they're sitting on it, and what now? Well, just stop talking about it. There's other things going on. It's like, why don't we deal with that? And then we'll talk about future stuff, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. It is crazy.
Start with the first ticket in line and then work your way to the next ones,
Right. Right. Like I think they were just questioning Bill Gates about it. And it's like, why are you guys still questioning him? Can't you do more than just ask him questions and like, oh, he was embarrassed. It's like, that's the best you got?
Well,
Like,
dude, there's proof that he was with Fauci in that and facilitating the
Wuhan?
COVID thing and all
yeah,
of
nobody
that
got punished
going
for
on.
that. I'd like to see some punishments doled out for coronavirus. That'd be fantastic.
That's
But
straight up a crime against humanity for a profit. Like,
yeah,
what?
across the entire globe. And the worst part about it is like that nothing's going to happen. Like they got extremely rich. A lot of people died. They meddled in our lives and took away more of our freedoms. And worst case scenario, it's like, oh, he's going to get yelled at by Rand Paul for an hour. Like,
Right? And not
that's
to
not
mention
severe
all the
enough
ticks.
punishment. What's that?
Like the boxes of ticks people have been finding and like the
That's in
genetically modified mosquitoes. Like,
Texas, right? In Texas, that screwworm thing.
yeah, now that's popping up.
And the
Like,
meat tick, I've heard that's another, like where you get allergic to meat if you get bit by this tick.
yeah, that's the Lone Star tick gives you alpha gal syndrome, makes you allergic to meat because
Dude,
supposedly people are emitting too many greenhouse gases. So if everybody just stopped eating meat, then the greenhouse gases wouldn't be so heavy on the ozone layer or whatever narrative he's trying to twist it into. But it's like I think he's just trying to get people allergic to meat in order to be able to fully control the supply of food for people, because he's also working on, oh, look at that, the solution to the problem, genetically modified meat.
yeah, the
Like,
printed meat, that
it's a
3D printed
pattern.
meat.
It's a pattern with everything. First it's his computer software create the virus, and now come out with the malware program to solve the virus. Oh, now he's doing it with people and COVID. Oh, now he's doing it with the food supply. Like
Yeah,
it's just a pattern I'm seeing with him. It's like
Gates is
he's
a villain.
creating the problem and then the solution.
What do you think, Jake? Bill Gates a villain?
Yeah, well, here's what's weird. Even if you're not gonna like be this conspiracist, just on facts alone, he's got some weird things going on. Like if you look at the speech he gave in like Africa about like new vaccines and like that there's gonna be a pandemic, and then there was a pandemic right after, and there weren't vaccines for it, which was like exactly what his speech was about. He's just like very into like a lot of kind of sketchy things that like I think he was trying to like chart people's DNA. They're like just like a lot of things that were really sketchy. You wanted to put like people's DNA into computers and just like a lot of things where it's like, why do you want to do this? Like, what's your MO? So even if he isn't like this Epstein pedophile lizard guy, like he has his hands in some very weird pots.
Yeah, I don't understand what animates people like that. I guess maybe once you get all the money that you could possibly imagine and you don't want for that, maybe if you're evil, you got to move on to like oh, let's control the population of the world, or let's make them do things. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't have that same will to power that a lot of these people do. But it's you can see it clearly in them. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
with you. I think Bill Gates is like he has a crazy amount of control outside of anybody's jurisdiction. You know,
Right.
the guy's
I'm like,
making ticks.
how's he getting away with all this? Like what?
Right. Right.
It's
Can we
crazy.
just make ticks? Like, I mean, can any random person just start making new shit and releasing it in the environment?
Right.
Well, what you do is you find the box full of the ticks and then find out where he lives and then give him a little doorstep present.
And then they get you, and you go to like the black site forever, Guantanamo Bay, and you're never heard from again. We're definitely living in a two-tiered system. I think we all see it now. Like, there's a set of justice standards that will never be applied to a certain class of people that it gets applied to us.
Certain people are above the law, and it has to do with income levels
Yeah,
and influence.
absolutely.
It's pretty crazy.
Like Fauci ought to be in jail. Fauci
yeah.
ought to be in jail.
Fauci the Grouch, I like to call him.
Well, I heard he was on trial recently. I saw him in a court case, but figure it out. Do your own
Yeah.
research.
Yeah, look into that.
Once he's
I,
sharing a cell with Diddy, I'll be satisfied.
he's like, it's just weird too, because like it'd be one thing if he was just like I'm in charge of the CDC, but then like I feel like he was involved in the last 2 or 3 pandemics, and I don't know, maybe that's his job, but it's just like there are a lot of things around that seem
Yeah.
sketchy. And then he went back and forth on masks in a way that I didn't enjoy. Like when he started out, he was like, "It's fine, don't we haven't seen that masks are a big deal," and then he flipped over on that, and then I don't know. It's just interesting how like as the research developed, he was proven to be wrong like a couple times. We're gonna get a disclaimer in the YouTube video for this now, so that's really fun.
Problem. Are they still doing the COVID disclaimers?
The COVID-19 vaccine is 100% effective and has never made any people have autism.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
It doesn't have spike proteins in it that aren't supposed to be there.
It's
It
good
doesn't
for you.
modify your DNA.
it hasn't given every person a minimum side effects. Like I'm not even saying it definitely makes people have like disorders. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. On a personal anecdotal level, every COVID vaccine I was forced to get for work made me feel like
Ooh.
shit.
Yep.
I'm so glad I wasn't in that.
Like, yeah, I work
situation.
in the health industry, and they
Yep.
don't let you, like I can't take care of special needs clients without proving that my vaccines are up to date. It's just like I'm not going to be this anti-vax comedian or whatever, but it does feel a little bit like tyrannical to kind of force it on people.
Yeah.
I generally would take all my vaccines anyway, but I would have liked to have had the option to evaluate this brand new vaccine for myself,
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
a lot for my job to just be like, do it right now. I'm like, can I read about it? Like,
Yeah. Like this just came out. I don't know if I want the first version.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
like, I don't-
apparently now it's coming forward that there are certain clauses you can bring up to be able to get out of the mandate.
I
Things
didn't
like
know that.
you can claim religious practice or whatever, and just things along those lines. And there's like one thing that relates to the spike proteins or some kind of or no, it was aborted fecal cells or something that they used to put in vaccines, and it has a certain name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Stem cells.
no, I don't
Something
think it
different?
was stem cells. It's kind of similar to that, but like apparently a lot of vaccines have that in it. And if you point that out, like I'll have to look into it and figure out the name for you, but like figure that out, what it's called, and then be like, does it have this in there? And then if they say yes, then you can be like, then I'm not. No.
Wow, I didn't know that. I
Too,
didn't know. I think
too
there's
late now, though,
conscientious
right?
objections. Like, you know how you don't want to go to war? You can be like, I'm a conscientious objector. I think you can do that with vaccines too, but like you have to like like you were saying, I think you have to use like a specific set of phrasing and like explain it a certain way, and like there's a procedure for it. But
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that then. I wish I'd known that I could have been like, I'm Jewish. I'm not comfortable with brand new science. That's like really sketchy.
And it's
Well,
it's hard when your income's on the line. Like they did that to me when I worked at a nursing home. Like I had to take the flu shot, and I
Yeah, the
told
group
them I
homes.
didn't
Yeah,
want
they always
to,
make me do that.
and they gave it to me, and then I got sick, and then I went to the ER. Like I was ER sick, and then when I called them on Monday and I said, look, I can't come in because I'm sick. The doctor told me I got to quarantine for 48 hours. They were like, can't he make an exception? Like, yo, I thought the whole purpose of this was so that I didn't, like, do
Right.
Isn't
people
that
see what
weird?
you're doing? Like, and I'm pretty sure it was the shot that made me sick. I've never been that sick
Hmm.
since. So, I got skeptical around that time. Like, so when COVID came, I was just like, I'm not doing this.
I
Yeah.
never
You
thought
know,
I'd be anti-vax, but like after experiencing so many, that it's just kind of hitting a point of like, you know, I haven't had any since COVID, and I feel better than ever.
I
Like,
feel fine.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm not gonna get any more. Like, I think I'm good. Like,
It is. I mean, and they exist a lot for like, I get it. We want herd immunity for stuff like diseases that are like bad, like measles and stuff. But like, I think it was interesting how people made the vaccine a political issue. Like, if you
Hmm.
were a Democrat, you were going to take the vaccine. If you were a Republican, you weren't. And it's really interesting because like you'd think people were just either like for science or maybe for religion. It wouldn't break down to this political thing. Like vaccines didn't used to be political.
Yeah, and I think also people when it first came out, I remember hearing people say, "I'm not taking Trump's poison," like Trump was there making it himself. And then once, because the vaccine came out under Trump, and then those same people, which I have in my life, mom, dad, uh, went and like took it, and then they wanted me to get it. And like, look, I was consistent. I wasn't going to take it under either one. Because then
Yeah.
that was the line they were using, like, well,
That
Trump.
I got mad at that.
Yeah,
Kamala literally said, "I'm not taking the Trump vaccine." It's like, okay, if Obama released the vaccine, you would have been pushing for it. It's
yeah.
either a vaccine or it's not. It's not a political. It is weird how political it got.
I like to make my health decisions based off of like my own shit. Like what a
Yeah.
politician tells you is pretty much all nonsense anyway. So it's like, yo,
And it's a health decision. So it's like,
right,
shouldn't people make it on an individual? Like, I'm not pro-vaccine, I'm not anti-vaccine. All I am saying is people should make their own health decisions for themselves and not around like party loyalties. Like, that's a crazy reason to decide what medicine you put in your
yeah, it
body.
is.
absolutely. I mean, it's our
Mm-hmm.
body, our choice. We shouldn't be
Right.
forced to do fucking anything, especially with the whole mention of digital ID stuff. Because it's like they're putting a chip in you or whatever they want to
Yeah.
do with it, but like that absolutely shouldn't be a mandatory thing because it's a
Yeah.
foreign thing going into you, and so is every vaccine. So it's
Yeah.
like,
It's really like kind of unconstitutional. Like the founding fathers probably would have been like, "What do you mean you're
What are
jabbing
you guys
people with
doing?
needles against their will?
Yeah.
Like, what do you? No, you can't." It is interesting how that's changed. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because like for newborns, I think they got a schedule that's like off the charts. Like back when we were kids, there were probably like 6 or 7 that you would have to take, and now it's like, I don't know, 60. They give them like hepatitis vaccines right after they're born. Like, yo, this kid's not going to be in any situations where they get hepatitis. Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
it's wild.
If that's an issue, they need a babysitter, not needles. Like
Yeah,
if you're leaving an underage person in a place where they could get hepatitis, like the issue is not medicine. Like the issue is childcare.
yes,
Like,
right. And I mean, I'm sure there probably are a couple that are actually effective and do work, but like when you're a, when you're a baby or something and you have no say over what's happening, it's kind of like, well, what look at the risk levels and don't just be like, oh, they said I need to give them like these 6 different things. and then all of a sudden your baby's coming out fucking cockeyed. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
The tyranny of medicine is definitely something that I think is becoming more apparent. You know, like the medical system does exert quite a bit of control over us since like birth. If you think about it, you know, like
Between
Mhm.
big pharma and the insurance companies, and yeah, it's wild.
yeah, and like your job, they're everywhere. You know, like you're working a job that you hope gives you insurance. That it's this kind of circle that just goes around. You know.
Yeah,
And then that
Well,
it,
insurance is like, you got to get vaccinated. It's like, whoa, wait, I don't want that. And they're like, then we can't insure you.
well, and
yeah,
dude, I don't think a society has ever had it more accurately than the Native Americans, you know? Plant-based everything, living off the land, in like embodying spirit with with the physical life, you know? And there's so much that we don't know because we've been trained to, just take a pill. But like,
yeah,
dude, we're organic beings and we live on this organic mass of land. And I mean, for every ailment that we could have, there has to be some form of cure in plant form for it.
and a lot of medicine comes from plants. I'm always reminded of with Native Americans, like they invented aspirin. It's from willow trees. Like you just cut like that. Now they synthesize it, but that's just willow bark was aspirin back then. It's like they had all these remedies. Like they had abortion. They had like all of the things that we associate with like modern medicine now.
That's what I'm saying. Just go outside and bam, there you go. Like free of charge. But let's give it to some
Yeah, that's
greedy
a vaccine
people.
right there. Just dirt, playing dirt for 2 hours. Yeah.
Guys out there chewing on bark, arrest them.
Yeah. But that's so funny though. It's like it is wild that like now those are the crazy people that go outside and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's a lot weirder to stay inside and inject foreign chemicals into your body, possibly against your will, in order to have a job, which hopefully the job pays you enough to have food and medical care, which is weird because, yeah, like
Yeah.
you're saying, like if we all just work together on a communal level, we would just provide those things for free to each other. Pretty weird that we
Right.
have to do that circular exchange of goods and services that leaves us all exhausted. Like we could just work
Yeah.
way less for a lot more.
Society's
Oh, yeah.
gotten weirder, you know. I think it's with the new technologies, it only gets weirder like every year, you know. Like it is very bizarre. And I have a 14-year-old at home, and the amount that they're just like outside playing, even from being pretty young, it's nowhere near where I was. Like I was outside all
All
the
my
time.
memories growing up are of just being
Outside.
outside.
Yeah.
Like my
Now
parents didn't buy me a game system because they were worried about me being a nerd and they didn't want me glued to the computers. I didn't get a phone until high school. Like it's just important to like not just be this glued to the screen person. Which I guess sounds ironic doing a podcast, but like we actually still get out in real life. Like me and Casey go and do comedy shows. You cook, you go outside in nature. Like it's so weird to me how much time I'll see people close to me spending just indoors, breathing recycled air, looking at a screen with blue light that's poisoning their eyes. Like, it's rough.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't see any course correction for it either. Like it's like that's the scary thing. It's like, all right, it clearly this isn't just a fad, you know, like this is here to stay and probably only get worse, you know.
In the wrong
And people
hands.
saw it coming. You guys remember 1984?
Yep.
Mildred with the headphones glued to the screen. It's just like, how many Mildreds are around us today? Like, we were warned.
Yep, we're walking around with telescreens and they're watching us everywhere, you know, and we, you know, for our part, we all participate in it, you know. Like so it's
For a
hard.
little bit of convenience and a little bit more luxury,
Yeah.
we gave up so much.
Right.
I do like air conditioning though. I really love air conditioning in
Not bad.
Florida.
In
Yeah,
Florida,
air conditioning's good. Yeah. And heat,
not all bad.
yeah. I mean, heat you can get through fire, but like AC, I don't know. I don't know. Our fresh water around here is not worth jumping in.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to Eric Murda.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on.
Oh.
Yeah, lost an arm to gators in Florida. He's a comedian that we do shows with. And just a reminder, people, do not try to swim in anywhere other than the ocean in Florida.
Yes.
Gators are everywhere.
Our fresh water is lethal, and it has the ability to amputate your arm very easily, take your life.
Casey, you want to hit one more topic, and then we'll call it?
Sure. Which one you want to do?
You pick it, buddy.
So, I would say, let's see. Have you guys seen what's going on with the Carmelo Anthony trial?
No, get us up to speed.
All right, so Carmelo Anthony trial is like really charged at the moment. You had two kids that were at a track meet, all right, and Carmelo is under the opposing team's bleachers, and apparently the captain of the team asks him to leave, puts his hand on his shoulder. Carmelo pulls out a knife, stabs him in the chest, kills him. Okay,
Well,
so he's a black kid, the other kid's a white kid. The case itself wasn't about race. It was about one kid killing another kid. But the people that are outside the courthouse have made it completely about race, to where you have a bunch of people now saying, oh, he should be freed. And it's like, no, he shouldn't be freed. You can't murder somebody for putting their hand on your shoulder and telling you to get out.
Right.
You know?
really not cool.
So I don't know. I was watching some clips, and it's like, man, it's eye-opening to hear how much racial animus there is in a case that wasn't about race, just because it happens to be between a white kid and a black kid.
Isn't that weird? I was watching the OJ show like last year, and I was very like thrown by like how people were like almost on OJ's team and were like, those white people deserved it. And I'm like,
Yes.
like for what? Like no one deserves to get murdered. Like they were rich. They had money. They deserved to get stabbed in that. Like,
And that was another stabbing, you know? It's like,
yeah.
you know, and maybe this is the course correction of the OJ one. And, you know, from what the people supporting the stabber are saying is basically like, oh, it's unfair because there were no black people on the jury. But I remember in the OJ case, there was like all black people on the jury, and they came out years later and said, well, we knew he was guilty, but revenge for Rodney King. And I'm like, I don't see how the two are related. Like they have nothing to do with one another. So, and it wasn't a jury of only white people. Like it was just that, and they had black people in the jury pool, but they all said I couldn't convict him. So because he was black. Well, so, you know what, like, it's an interesting thing because you go, well, what does that mean? You know?
Right. Yeah, the rules don't apply to everybody the same. It's interesting too because it's funny. Like with OJ, you really had like everybody was really expecting like one thing out of that, and then it just went the other way because of Rodney King. You know, people were like, oh, this is about that other thing. And then years later, OJ gets in trouble again, you know, for stealing trophies. And like as soon as he hits the courtroom, they just fucking threw the book at him and just gave him like a huge sentence. And like once again, you're like, oh, this is about that other thing.
Yeah, it writes a book about if I did it. Like I think OJ was guilty. I think everybody knew OJ was guilty. Did he ever admit to being guilty or not?
He basically said it without saying it. I mean, we all know that he made the gloves not fit on purpose. Like it was very obvious.
Yeah, if you put your hand in a glove, like when you're balling a fist, nobody's hand's gonna fit in that thing.
We've all, you know, done that thing with our girlfriend. We're like, no, my hand's much bigger, and you're pushing your hand up a little and stuff. So like, yeah, he was just doing that.
Yeah, but it was wild. Like I watched a couple clips, and I thought, you know, if the roles were reversed, if we were out there doing that, like there's no way it would. Because one of the guys was chanting like, "Only good cracker's a dead cracker," and just kept repeating it. It's like,
can you imagine if the roles were reversed? That is like a news stop moment. People
that's international news. They know about it in China 5 minutes after it's happened. You know,
yeah. Everything hits a screeching halt after that. That's just like.
You can hear the record scratch on the whole world, you know, like jobs shut down, flights are grounded.
God, the reversal on that, yeah, if you play the Uno reverse card there, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was just if you get a chance, just you just look up some clips because like I read the court transcripts and they were all like the witnesses of which some of were black all said, "Oh no, he was the aggressor. Like there was no need to stab the kid." And they never brought up race once in the case. Like it wasn't a factor. I don't think the kid stabbed him because he was racist. I don't think he told the other kid to leave because he was racist. It's like you are not supposed to be over here. But it's amazing what the media and activists can do. And just like you guys are just picking scabs that don't need to be there and creating new divides in society that really don't need to be there.
Well,
You know?
the goal is right. Ideally, you can't have a coalition between working class whites and working class blacks, right? Because that would be threatening for the upper class. So the media's job is to constantly divide those two groups with the news.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's probably 80% of the media's job in society. It's just like keep the working class groups at each other's throats. Make sure that there's no solidarity. It's like, okay.
Well, not to mention, when clearly race isn't involved in an incident, and then you got people coming forward claiming that race is an issue in the incident, wouldn't that make those people the racists?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It is
It
weird
does.
how that
But I think
spirals. Yeah.
I think at some point the intellectuals decided, oh well, black people can't be racists because in the past, because of their past, they can in the future never be that. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Like it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's just hating somebody for the color of their skin, which is what you guys are doing right now, which is called racism. Like
Right.
It ain't that hard. But
yeah.
The universities.
If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck,
yep.
It's probably racism.
It's probably a shark.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that about wraps it, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Sweet.
We're at
so
56. Let's plug some shit.
So let's do some quick plugs. Kyle, where are you currently cooking? Where can the people see you?
Well, I'm cooking at the Pizza Coop and Ale House in Woodinville, Washington, and
hell yeah.
You can also find me on Thursdays on the Comedy Writers Guild podcast. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And
that's a great pod.
My podcast, the Higher Consciousness, Lower Standards podcast. And we put out content usually every Tuesday. We might slip up and miss a week, but we've been trying to get back on it lately, and I got my brother from another mother back on. So he's the guy I was doing it with in the beginning. He took a bit of a hiatus, and now he's back. So we're back at it together, and we're having some fun.
Oh, hell yeah. Reunited. That's what's up. Casey, when's that next Charlie Foxtrot?
We've got Charlie Foxtrot on June 20th at 7:30. Open mic, going to be a great show. Sign up is on a piece of paper when you get there. I'll be there at about 5 after 7. So there's no online sign up. There's no nothing. Just good old fashioned pen and paper.
Show up, God.
And everybody show up, have a good time, respect the light.
Yeah, and that really goes for the female comedians. Casey's a respectful host. He's not going to say it about his own venue. But if you come in there trying to be like Kamala Harris, you're still getting lit at 5, and you're not getting a sympathy extra 3 minutes.
Yeah, when you're lit.
Sorry.
When you're lit, it's time to start wrapping it up. When you're lit
I'm
again,
equal opportunity. I will tackle whoever. I don't care.
Yeah.
When you're lit again, it's time to go. What about you, Jake? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, so I got McCurdy's Thursday night, and then Side Splitters Friday night. And then the next warehouse comedy thing is July 2nd, which brings us to our sponsor, Joe Rieger. Big shout out to him for funding our current podcast as it stands. This was episode 3. Go follow Joe Rieger and his company, One Unit. They are behind a lot of entertainment ventures in this area. So yeah, let's see. So I just wanted to say thank you to Kyle for being our
Kyle.
first guest. It was really fun, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I had a good time.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. Cool,
All
guys.
right.
Go follow him.
Well.
Go follow Higher Consciousness, Lower Standards podcast. See him in person if you're in his area. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Two Live Jews, we out.
Hell
Toodles.
yeah. Later.
Later.